What's up guys, Magic Navs here, and in this video I want to do a quick update video on the WE or Cybergun Desert Eagle. As you can see, this specific one has been modified slightly, or just custom built. Literally just took in the barrel from an L6 and put it onto the Mark 19 version, as well as the slide itself has the L6 safety instead of the traditional one. So internally and internally the Mark 19 and the L6 version are exactly the same. There's no difference to them. It's just aesthetics look that are different. But I wanted to address some issues in regards to this gun. Personally, I've been dealing with a lot of quality control issues because I've had to go through a couple different ones, and occasionally just the gas efficiency just starts to, go down like after a few hundred rounds, because for whatever reason the trigger assembly just starts to go to shit, and I have to get a different lower frame for it. But the main issue I want to address to you guys, and the fix that I found for it, is actually the slide release, just right here. Because the big problem that I've been realizing with all of the Desert Eagles that I've tested with is that when you first get it in the box, whether it's when you're manually locking the slide back or when the pistol locks the slide back on the last shot, the slide release will only push up to about there. It doesn't go up all the way like that, and that can be an issue a lot of times, because especially when you are depending on how much gas you have left in the magazine or how cold it is, sometimes the slide just won't lock back just because there isn't enough force to push the slide release up. And that's what this gun out of the box is relying on, which you can't always rely on, because for one, the slide is so heavy, and this thing requires like hot conditions, or at least warm conditions, in order for it to do that. So tried different ways, and I've tried fixing it with the magazine and such. Nothing works, alright? But I found one solution, which is actually really simple, is actually using these size 2 O-rings. Normally you use these to replace the O-ring in your fill valve for your magazines, but I realized, because since these were small enough, and they provide just enough of a spacer, it actually worked perfect in helping to push up on the slide release to fill in that gap. And I'm actually going to show this to you. So first and foremost, it's a good idea, you're going to have to disassemble the slide. Maybe not like that, but you're going to need a pin to push out the slide release from the right side of the gun, and then just with a hammer. See, there's going to be a little spring. That is what helps push the slide release back down. But I'm going to show you right here. Right at the bottom, where it's rounded, that is where the magazine, the little nub on the side of the magazine, pushes the slide release up in order to lock the slide. But just through many tests of different ones, it doesn't seem like they've done a good job with actually making sure it pushes up all the way. So literally all I did is just take some super glue. I glued one O-ring just on top of that rounded edge. Again, that's where the slide release pushes up. So I literally just super glued that on there, pressed it down a little bit, and then eventually I actually super glued. I put a tiny dab of super glue on the top of it as well, because what I found is that, because this is a rubber O-ring, obviously, while if you just glue it onto the slide release, it will work, but because of this O-ring kind of squishing when the slide is moving, after the first time it'll it'll move out of the way and then it doesn't work anymore. So if you want to make it a permanent fix, after you've allowed the O-ring to dry onto the slide release itself, put a small bit of super glue on the inside right down the hole of the O-ring, and that will at least harden it and then allow it to become a permanent fix, so that even when you are just tinkering or playing around with it, locking the slide back and hitting the slide release, then you can lock it again and it will be fully pushed up to lock the slide back. So there's not going to be any inconsistencies with that. So this is literally all it takes to fix that, and yeah, like it's literally like you don't even notice it at all, because when you have the gun together, you don't notice anything. So I'm just gonna put this now to actually put it back together. It's a bit tricky, but from the left side, you're gonna first get that pin in, and then you actually have to use the pin itself that you used to punch it out. From the right side, you want to line it up with the trigger, because there's going to be a little hole that lines it up, that pushes through from the right all the way through to the other side. When you go through here, there's going to be that little pin. You're going to want to push that out of the way slightly towards you, and then that way you can line or push from the left side, push that pin for the slide release in. It does get a bit finicky, especially because I'm trying to do this for you on camera. But if you can get that aligned up perfectly, and you will have to kind of tinker with this. There you go, just like that. You got that lined up. Now you can move your pin out of the way, and then you just gotta push the slide release pin all the way through. As you're pushing through, make sure the spring gets pushed into that little slot in the middle there. Once you have it in, then you can fully push the slide release back in, and then you fully reassembled your slide release. From here, everything's the same as you assemble your Desert Eagle back together, just like so. And that's it. And I'll show you once again. What's great is there's no BBs in the mag. There is some gas in here, but if I just show you how when you manually lock the slide back, it now fully locks and pushes up into place like so. There's no gaps. I can drop the slide, do it again, still no gaps at all, as you can see. And if I just fire it off, same thing, fully pushed up like so. It's not just catching it by the edge, or there's no gaps at all. So this is the cheapest and best way to remedy any slide lock issues that you have with this WE or Cybergun Desert Eagle. Unfortunately, just one of the handful of problems that I've personally had to deal with. Again, this is just one of them. The other one being just, you know, the trigger assembly just over time just getting weak, and therefore not providing as good gas efficiency issues. There's really not much way around it other than just having to buy a new Desert Eagle and just changing out the lower frame. Same problem I've had with a VFC USP. It just, I don't know, unless they come up with a better aftermarket system of, you know, having some trigger sets or trigger assemblies, it's the only thing. But if you can get past that, if you're a big lover of Desert Eagles, I still think this is the best one, because you can get so many different versions of this, especially in silver. If I ever save up enough money, then maybe I'll even get one for myself in the L6 version in silver. So we'll see. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you do have any questions, do leave it down below. I do still think this is a very nice gun, really fun to shoot. Just unfortunately, as with a lot of WE things, they do come with its problems, and this just being one of them. So that said, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos. Until next time, peace out, guys.